Hi, my name's Cameron MacDonald and welcome to Whisky Without the Guff, episode 12, part 2. This is the part where we taste the final four 15-year-old whiskies. And let me just show you what we have here. We have Glendronach, which is a 46% alcohol by volume. We have Dalwhinnie, which is 43%. Glengoyne, 15 years old and 43%, and then finally Springbank with 46%. And I'll just show you where those are using this pen. So we're going to start with Glendronach, which is up here, so halfway between Speyside and the North Sea. And then we're going to go down a bit to Dalwhinnie, which is, it's around here somewhere. Dalwhinnie is actually the highest distillery in Scotland, and that's because these are the Cairngorm Mountains. And then we're going to go further down to Glengoyne, which is around here, somewhere around here, the bottom of Loch Lomond. And then finally across to Campbellton. This is Islay, and this is Jura, and this stretch here is Kintyre, and at the bottom of that is Campbellton and Springbank, not Glen anything, sorry. So, with that in mind, Glendronach we tasted before in a series of 3. I don't think we've ever tasted officially the Dalwhinnie, but we will. Glengoyne we tasted also in a series of 3, and Springbank we've never tasted. Springbank, I used to love Springbank, but Springbank has gone through a number of strange evolutions where it seemed the distillery was closed and it was opened, and it was closed and it was opened. So as a result of that, I'm not quite sure whether Springbank has the same heritage or not. So this will be interesting because this is the first time I've tasted Springbank in quite a long while. So without further ado, we'll get going. So here we are now with Steve and Stu. We're about to do the second trench of the 15-year-olds. We're going to do Glendronach, followed by Dalwhinnie, followed by Glengoyne, and then finally Springbank. You can see that these people have gone home and changed. I never wash or change, so I'm just the same.
I didn't.
So,
Okay.
so the whiskey, the smell of the whiskey disguises the smell of me.
I see.
I mostly smell of old fish. So, the first one is Glendronach, and from memory it's a nice dram, and I actually preferred this when we did the Glendronach tasting. I preferred the 15 to the 18-year-old, which is twice the price. So here we are. It smells good, but not terribly weird in any way or distinctive.
No, it's fairly mellow to the nose.
Bit of a light burn initially when you taste it, but
Indeed.
Yeah, but it's quite pleasant.
Very tasty.
well, there we are.
I would not throw it out of the liquor cabinet.
No, that's, I mean, it's certainly not bad. I think it's very good, but it's not, to me it's not like the excellent level of very good, but it's nice. Number 2 is Dalwhinnie, and it's a couple of months since I drank a Dalwhinnie, so this will be interesting.
Not as aromatic.
No, but distinctive.
Yeah.
It's a nice mild
Yeah, quite mild.
dram. What's that? Lingers for quite a while.
It's mild in nose and taste both, really.
So I'm now on the Glengoyne, so we're moving into the Glasgow suburbs here. Now that is a more distinct smell.
Yeah, yeah. Still relatively mild. Nose, really.
Same taste-wise.
Yeah.
You know, they go to great lengths to avoid peat in the Glendronach distillery, so that's got quite a
Aftertaste. No?
quite a lasting burn.
Yeah, it's got more bite to it than the Dalwhinnie for sure.
And there, the Springbank. Now this is more like a whiskey smell, like the
Yeah.
old-fashioned
Really.
whiskey smell.
Well, there's a little smoke in there.
Yeah, there's a little
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Quite nice though,
Yeah.
really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's mild in a smoky way.
Yes, sort of like a Ardbeg training beer. Or training whiskey,
Well,
rather.
it's quite close to Islay. Campbellton. I once flew from Campbellton to Islay, and it was weird because the plane took off, and no sooner did it take off than it started going down again. And I thought, I mean, quite literally, I thought, the hell has gone wrong? But I mean, it couldn't be any more than 10 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah,
It was.
well, maybe some of the smoke from the peat fires on
Maybe
Islay
they were-
made it to Springbank.
Maybe they had some fuel.
So I really don't know how to categorise
Yeah.
these things. So the second time I smell it now, the Glendronach is fruity or more fragrance in it. And it's a smooth taste, it's
Yeah.
like sophisticated. So Dalwhinnie's mildly medical. Very mild.
The nose on the Glengoyne reminds me a little bit of the nose on the Dalmore, in the sense that it has body to it that's not medicinal. You know, it's got something else going on, but it's much more subtle than the Dalmore. I mean, I don't get coffee out of it, for example, which is disappointing because I like coffee.
The Glengoyne smells fragrant to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as fragrant as the Glen. No, the Glendronach is a more powerful smell than the Glengoyne. This is another one of these things I'm going to have to edit because there's a whole lot of sniffing,
Sure, I
pawing
know.
around.
Yeah.
Lots
Lots of
of
editing.
gazing into the
Yeah.
middle distance. Yeah.
Looking at.
That was mild too, it's mild.
As a group, these strike me as more mild than the first four that we tasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Except for
The
perhaps
first four,
four.
15.
The less
Yeah.
strong or distinctive, I think. Except maybe the Springbank. There's even a smell in the Springbank. It's almost like cleanser. It's a,
I didn't get that. I just got smoke right away.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Mr. Clean out of that.
did you smell a lot like that too? No?
Yeah.
That's a
I
mild,
miss that.
mild taste though.
Right, I have my verdict.
How about you, Steve?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Stu, what's yours? What's numero uno?
Numero uno for me is the Springbank.
Okay.
And I wrote down characterized its taste as a baby Ardbeg. So,
It's milder than
Oh,
yeah,
much-
but it,
much
yeah,
milder,
I can
but
see how you'd like that.
it has the same, it's trending in the same peaty direction as the Ardbeg. Not as other peats, but it certainly reminded me of Ardbeg. And I had actually the Glendronach in second place.
Okay.
Although it was mellow.
That was number one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was mellow, but quite pleasant all over. You know, I mean, it was nothing remarkable.
Oh, I didn't find any of them bad
Well,
again.
No, no.
Exactly. But it just seemed very drinkable. It just you know, very relaxing, not challenging, you know, not demanding that you adapt to to its characteristics at all.
Yeah, it doesn't grab you by the throat either.
No, it didn't.
None of these do.
No, none of them slap me upside the face. It's like,
Yeah.
pay attention. I put the Dalwhinnie, well, third and fourth are very close. I put the Dalwhinnie in third and the Glengoyne in fourth.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
What did you do?
I put in number one was the Springbank,
Okay. So that's two of you for the Springbank.
and then number two was the Dalwhinnie.
Dalwhinnie.
Dalwhinnie. Yep.
Okay.
Number three was Glengoyne.
Glengoyne.
And number one was 4.
So the fourth rating was
yeah, it was
Glendronach.
one's 4. Yeah.
Well, that's also amazing because last time you and I had the same number one
Mm-hmm.
and the same last one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Stu had turned that on its head. His
Yeah.
the stuff that we thought had no taste at all, he
Yeah.
preferred. This time,
We're
you
all-
and Stu have the same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
First, I got it.
What did you go for?
Well, I went with the Glendronach as the best.
That was my second. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the Glengoyne, strangely enough.
Yeah.
Then the Springbank, and then the Dalwhinnie. But I found it difficult. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I could have voted in a number of
Yeah.
different ways.
I thought
When you get at this level, it's pretty tough.
Well,
You know.
they're all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're all excellent, good, very good.
Yeah, I would rate them as very good. I didn't think any of them were excellent.
No.
Here, I could maybe be persuaded in the first go to.
Yeah. I thought as a group they were less, just by accident, I assume, less inspiring than the first group.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
But in terms of what we do for the
Runoff.
tomorrow night's runoff, it's not really a runoff because it's more of a. They're all.
How are you going to pick?
They're not
that?
spread like this. They're spread like
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
in this. So, well, what I thought we would do.
how will you do the
is-
final 4? That's a tough one, huh? I mean, really?
Well, it is, but you could cheat. So I propose
cheat.
cheating.
Cheating.
I'm all
And
for
the
cheating.
the
Yeah.
cheating would consist of, like, since two of us chose
Springbank.
Macallan
Macallan.
Oh.
as the best,
Yeah. That would
Let's
be
put
one.
Macallan
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. Okay.
and since one of us chose the Dalmore, in spite of the fact that you and I had the Dalmore Lord, it was a very
Yeah,
distinctive
yeah,
drink.
Good. Okay.
Let's add Dalmore.
Okay.
Because it got a first best of breed from one of us.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it had at least-
if we had, so fortunately,
You could add up.
and it's the same thing in the next one,
add
because
up the rating numbers. And,
two of us voted for the Springbank,
Yeah.
Let's do.
and one of us voted for the Glendronach. So I would propose that
Right.
Okay.
it's not horribly scientific,
But it's good.
but
No,
we
no,
put those four together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I bet if you added up the scores for the three
You would
of
probably
us,
come up with that.
you would come
up with
the
that.
lowest score would be, I'm sure, would be the one that we've got on top.
Maybe. So, but so tomorrow night we'll do that.
All right.
Roger that.
Anything else you want
Yeah.
to say, add, whatever? Well, we go downstairs with our. It's funny, you don't drink very much when you're tasting. Steve and I are more
Yeah, we're-
beasts.
we're
We
more of
like
We're going
this
to
there.
swill it
Yeah.
back.
We're luscious,
Oh, come
as
on.
they say in the old test.
I like to make it last,
Oh, there's more.
He's a connoisseur. He's a connoisseur. for
especially of other people's whiskey.
sure.
No,
Yeah.
he's a gourmet rather than a
Gourmet.
gourmand.
Yeah, well, you know,
I mean, it shows too. If you look at the size of him
Yeah,
versus the
yeah.
size of me, I mean, I'm not the gourmet. I'll have a dozen swans and followed by 6 geese, and I would have done well in the Pickwick days, Dickens.
Well,
if I was rich.
yeah, so I just never know when I'm gonna get another 15, so.
That's right. So
I'm trying to stretch it out.
Right.
I got an idea.
You got to make it last.
I got an interesting idea to discuss with you for the next thing after we settle this 15, if we can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be, it's
That's
like
gonna be
everything else.
tough.
Every time you put whiskey in a different company, you get sort of
Different answers.
different results. So
Oh,
it's,
absolutely.
but nothing, I mean, from a trial and error point of view, nothing in the 15s, none of them were, oh God, that's not worth it. They're all, it's a
hard.
personal
Yeah,
preference.
yeah.
You bring somebody else in here, like, you know, I think the three of us universally thought that the first 4, through no fault of our own, I didn't select it that way,
Yeah.
were more distinctive or more
Yeah.
kind of
Except for
higher
maybe.
up the food chain a
Yes.
little bit.
Yeah.
Except for
A
maybe.
different level from
Yeah,
some of the other stuff
but
we've been tasting.
If you brought other people in here, like Kim, she might say, no, the best one here
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
absolutely.
thing that I would
Sure.
think is the
Yeah,
mildest
yeah.
or
I
something.
would
Yeah.
think she would have gone for the Dalwhinnie.
Possibly. I mean, I like Dalwhinnie,
Yeah.
but if it's just by itself. But in this company again,
Yeah.
to me it's not got the oomph. So in summary, that was interesting, but at the same time a little disappointing from the perspective that usually people like real definitive conclusions, and I don't think there are any. I think on any given day or night you could choose just about any of these things. They're not spread over a band that deep, they're spread over a band that deep. So as you see, Stu and Steve preferred the Springbank. I preferred the Glendronach. But there's not a lot, and they're different. I mean, they're not the same, but they're not sufficiently different or distinct. And we also found that in this particular group of 4, there was less overall distinctness than there was in the first group of 4, even though the first group of 4 was also kind of close. So we have decided to go with Springbank, Glendronach, Dalmore and the Macallan for the final runoff, which is tomorrow night. So I wouldn't draw any conclusions or homework or anything from any of this until we get through the whole thing. And tomorrow we're going to get Kim and Colleen and get some original thought from them, only on the last 4 though. So look forward to that, and we'll see you later.